Alright, so for today's video, I'm going to be redoing my shelves again. I had a problem because it's so getting colder, so I'm going to use the heater more often. I noticed that my shelf was covering my heat vent. I didn't want to cause a fire, so I moved my shelves over. It was too lazy to take all the figures down, so stuff just fell over. So now I'm just going to redo them shelf by shelf. I thought it'd be fun. This is a suggestion made by Life with Brock, actually. He told me to do this. I thought it'd be fun to record me doing individual portions of my display live for you guys. Well, not live, but for you guys to all see like the process of me doing it. Thought it might work out pretty good. So stay tuned. I gotta find a better angle so you can see closer. Today I'm doing my Avengers shelves. So stay tuned. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let's get started here. We got Goliath. The custom Goliath I started and never finished. His Colossus legs on, so I need to finish that. It's been years, but you won't notice by the end of the video. He'll be very covered up. You won't be able to tell from almost any angle. And you got Giant Man. What I always do is I put the main Avengers here in the middle, as you'll see, so that's why Giant Man's more towards the middle. And then we got Mr. Fantastic. Him and Sue Stormer, both members of the Avengers team at one point. And then here's the Hulk. So you see Hulk placed right in front of Goliath. Can't see Goliath's messed up legs really anymore. And then also Hulk's in the middle because he's a key Avenger. And then here's the Vision, another key Avenger. And I put that little stand that I made out of galvanized wire on their store there now. Galvanized wire, you can buy 200 feet of that for like $5 at Home Depot. And it works great. It works just like those hangers. Works the same way, probably even better. It's very, very useful for as stands. So way cheaper than having to go buy some Mayfix stands or anything like that. Oh, and here's Iron Man. Had to look around for his hands and his accessories, and this took a cool minute to find all of Iron Man's parts. Yeah, he was Iron Man was a little bit of a struggle. So I'm looking for the blast effects right here, and had to skip forward like 30 minutes of time to find those. But there they are. Decided to change it up. I usually have Iron Man's pose standing, but decided this time, I'm gonna have him flying. I'm having him blasting off, and it'd be, interesting, pretty cool, I thought. So, as you'll see here, that's why I'm showing you guys the pose I got him in. I get a stand. Again, that's another one of those galvanized wire stands, which I really recommend. It works pretty good. All you gotta do is get some wire cutters, and you can cut it to any length you want, and just make some stands, and it really works really well. The first stand I grabbed there was a little too long, so I decided to grab a shorter one. You see, I'm finding one on the ground there. Ones I already cut. I have like 30 of them already made, so all different sizes. Whenever I need a new one, I just make a new one. It's real easy, real quick. And then here you go. Setting Iron Man up there. He's a little bit of a balance issue because so much of his body is laying back there, but you see I get it eventually here. You see I always start here in the middle with the main Avengers in the middle, and then expand outward from there. That way you get the main characters exactly where you want them, and then the secondary and minor characters go around them with less meaningful spots, so it fills the display out a lot more. I feel like the middle is the first thing you look at. So having all the big guys, the main guys in the middle, I think it's the best possible thing you have for your collection. At least for me, anyways. I think it just looks really good in my opinion. So that's why I always go for that. You see, I'm adding Captain America in here now. Captain America and Iron Man, of course, always in the front of the Avengers team. They're probably the two most, Avenger-y Avengers. So, putting Cap in here. Cap did not want to stand very well, and I kept having to change up with his stance here because, him and Iron Man are the two most important. So they really have to be perfectly set up there for me. And Cap and Iron Man I mess with a lot for this first half of the video here. But you'll see how it turns out in the end. I think I actually end up swapping their positions from where I originally had them, but there you go. See, that's how that looks. And you see from here, it looks pretty good. And you got Hercules, just put him there. What I usually do is, because the skin tone contrast, I usually put Hercules next to Hulk, and then She-Hulk closer to Thor. That way, the skin tones and the greens like counteract each other. So they don't blend in so much. I always try to avoid keeping similar colored characters next to each other. That way, you can see everything more clearly. It's a little bit better that way. But sometimes it's unavoidable. A lot of superheroes have the same color schemes. Oh, here's Scarlet Witch. For Scarlet Witch here, I decided to use that effect that Psylocke's sword came with that goes over her sword. I thought that looked really cool as a little energy effect for Scarlet Witch to hold, to make it look like she's using some energy or about to, or the energy's just flowing off of her hand. That'd be real cool. So it's a real simple idea there. And you got Quicksilver. Quicksilver's real quick and easy. You just put him there. He's been in that running pose for months, so no issue with him. I think next is Wonder Man, I believe. Here. Yep, there he is. And the struggle with Wonder Man is he's a little heavier than most figures I have on the stands. And the stand's really tall because I want him to be able to be seen because he's way in the back. And so he always has trouble balancing with the stand. But as you see here, I'm going to get it eventually. I end up pulling it back down and readjusting the stand because he's a little heavier than normal, especially with that height stand. But as you see, here he goes. And there's Hawkeye, another major Avenger, so he's going to be up front here. I mess around with his pose a lot here, just trying to figure out what I really want him to be looking like. I want to, if he's just holding the bow, or should I have him like pose like he's firing the bow, or pose like he's grabbing an arrow. You'll see what I ended up here at the end here, but I'm pretty happy with how he ended up coming out. I usually have Hawkeye pretty close to Captain America because every time I think of Hawkeye, I think of him being with Captain America and the Cap's Quirky Quartet with him, Cap, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Swordsman for a short time. I feel like I'm missing somebody there. But yeah, wish we had a Swordsman figure. That'd be great. So I keep messing with Hawkeye for a minute here. But once I get past the main Avengers, it gets a lot easier and a lot faster. It just comes together real quick. There. Okay. I don't remember who I grabbed next here. Is it Black Panther? I want to say it's Black Panther. We'll see who I end up grabbing. Oh, just need a thumbtack. Gotta put Falcon up there. I really wish we had a new Falcon figure. We really badly need an updated Falcon. That Toy Biz one is way outdated. This is a custom that someone gave me for free. But even this is, it's great. I'm happy to have it, but still very need to update. And there's Black Panther. Black Panther's a pretty easy one. Getting a little crouching pose. Pretty good, pretty easy. I always have him up front too because, very major Avenger. So and I think he is the last of the major Avengers I have up here. For a minute. There's Black Knight, one of my favorite Avengers. But he's not a very prominent guy, so he goes towards the back there. And I always have him next to She-Hulk too, for some reason. I remember them being on an Avengers team together. It really is memorable in my mind, so I just usually have them next to each other. Plus, the colors mix match with each other very, very well, so they both stand out. And here's Namor. Namor gives me a little bit of issues here. He does not want to stay in that stand. And you see me looking to the left a little bit here. I'm listening to music while I'm doing this, and some of the music just turned off randomly at one point. But I'm listening to some rock music, and you see Namor's causing me issues, so I had to pull a couple characters out, put Namor in there, and he still just keeps falling out of the stand. I ultimately end up just balancing him, like putting a leg in there and putting a knee up and the knee leaning on the stand. So he's a little higher up, and it still looks good. So there he goes, right back there, real good. And I put everybody else I took out back in, and Let's see how it looks in a second here. She-Hulk. That She-Hulk figure always has problems standing because there's no ankle pivot on that. But I hate the other She-Hulk figures we have. That's still my favorite She-Hulk, even though it's still not a good She-Hulk. See how it's coming along pretty well so far. You see, I have a lot of work I need to do on the other shelves around. If this video does well or people like it, I might do more if people want to see more. Oh, and there's Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. You know, I usually always have her flying because that's her whole power. So to fly really fast. And here's Miss Marvel. Some people call her Captain Marvel now. I will never refer to her as Captain Marvel. She was always Miss Marvel to me. And we got her in a flight stand. I usually have her more towards the middle too. But decided this time, you know, she's not as prominent an Avenger as the people are up there. So her towards the back there. She kind of blends in with Namor a little bit with the skin tones. But it's not too bad. Oh, there's Invisible Woman. He's in Toy Biz Invisible Woman there. Need to get another Hasbro Invisible Woman to replace that with. But for now, it'll work. On this Demolition Man, just using the Walgreens Daredevil with a Wolverine head. Very easy. I wish we had a bigger Demolition Man, you know, on like the Century body or Hyperion body. Been real nice. And here's Ant-Man. Since I already have Hank Pym as Giant Man up there, I was planning to use this Ant-Man as Scott Lang. Because Scott Lang was a part of the Avengers for a short time until he died. Spoiler alert. And they obviously came back. Oh, there's Sandman. Another very, very short-term Avenger. More like an honorary Avenger member, but still part of the main Avengers team, so had to get him up there. I wanted to put him over there, but it didn't really work out too well because the color kind of mixes with the skin tones of Namor and Miss Marvel a little bit, so I decided to put him towards the back over here. So he's not so prominent. I'll put him towards the back of this side. That's it. Didn't get a real nice pose on him or anything. He doesn't really need one. He's just, you know, getting a very short-term Avenger. But that body sucks too. That doesn't stand very well. I want to get that Select Sandman, actually. And put Demolition Man back up there again. I keep checking to make sure the camera didn't turn off because I know my phone battery was starting to die. So, oh, here's my custom Justice. This custom was made by New Collector Customs, Seth Allen. He's a very cool guy, makes very good customs. I recommend checking him out on Instagram. Love that Justice custom. And here's Beast. So Beast, I really wanted to put him to go on the right-hand side there. But you see there's a lot of blue. There's like the Fantastic Fours over there. You got Justice, you got Quicksilver. I'm like, I should probably put Beast over here, which is closer to Wonder Man, which is a good thing because Beast and Wonder Man were really good friends when they were on the Avengers team together. But you know, at this point, it's more just getting everybody in there. You know, the main guy's already there. Everyone else is kind of secondary, so you know he doesn't need to have a super prominent spot. But closer to Wonder Man's always a good idea for Beast because they were good friends. I'll bring it up again in a minute here when we get to Hellcat, which is right here. So Hellcat, Beast and Wonder Man actually helped her come up with her superhero identity as Hellcat. So I always try to get her next to them, but it just didn't work out because Demolition Man was already over there. I didn't really feel like moving them. Because Demolition Man was way closer to the front, which does not make sense for his character. So I just left it how it was, and I might change it later. I don't know, but I kind of like it how it is. And then messing with Ant-Man again. You'll see towards the end here, I end up just removing Ant-Man completely from this display, using him in a different part of the display. Now I'm trying to find a spot for Spider-Man, who during the original Avengers, like the classic, just the regular Avengers name, Spider-Man was only a very short-term honorary member. He rejoins again later on. Oh, here, now going down to the bottom shelf. Here we got Monster Venom, who's missing an arm, But I just put Ares there and you can't even tell. It's all about strategic placing to hide things you don't want people to see. And then there's Century, you know, building the Dark Avengers here. That's a Dark Miss Marvel Moonstone, made by Michael Kern, a really good friend of mine. That's probably my first custom I ever got, I believe. And there's Hawkeye, Bullseye as Hawkeye. I use the Odin Wave Hawkeye body with a Bullseye unmasked head. I usually don't use unmasked heads, but for that one, I'm like, yeah, it'll work. I think it works pretty good. And then the camera cut off there, so you guys missed me put Dake in there, and you guys missed me add the Young Avengers in. But now I'm working on the West Coast Avengers. So we got Darkhawk. And then we get the Thing. So yeah, for a time, the Thing was on the West Coast Avengers, and Sue and Reed were on the Avengers, and then Johnny was not a member of either Avengers team ever. Android Human Torch actually was on the West Coast Avengers for a short time, and it would be really cool to have him. But nope, it would have been a perfect time to get Android Human Torch with his 80 years thing, since he's the actual beginning of the 80 years of Marvel. But it's okay. See, I added Scarlet Witch in there. I added Moon Knight, Wonder Man, War Machine, a bunch of Toy Biz figures on this side actually. A lot of them need updates, but yeah, it's fine for now. I got Wasp in there. She isn't not staying there. I ended up moving her, but for now she's there. And there's Silver Centurion, Iron Man. Okay. Really wanted another Silver Centurion, Iron Man, because that one's really bad. Ended up finding Black Widow. Couldn't find her in the beginning, but ended up finding her now, so I added her to the Avengers shelf. There you go. Pretty good. Nothing crazy for her. I forget who I'm looking for. Oh, Hawkeye again. You know, way easier that time for Hawkeye. I just give him a very neutral stance. And then you got Machine Man. Very underrated figure in my opinion. When he came out and hit clearance, I bought so many Machine Mans because I really wanted a lot of extension arms for him. So, very underrated figure. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. But he was an honorary West Coast Avenger for a little while, so decided to add him to the West Coast Avengers team. Probably my favorite part of the West Coast Avengers team display. And then I find Spider-Woman, Julia Carpenter, you know, very needed member of the of the West Coast Avengers. I'm missing a few West Coast Avengers members. I need US Agent, I need Vision, I need another Quicksilver. But for now, I'm happy with that. And now I'm working on the new Avengers. Got Extremis Iron Man, Luke Cage, and Captain America. Those are all customs made by Glenn Fitch at Fitchworks Customs. All amazing customs. That Luke Cage just has a white shirt and a jacket. The Iron Man is a Extremis that's based on the Invincible Iron Man we got a couple years back. And then the Captain America is a mix of the Ultimate Captain America from Toy Biz and the Wolf Cap and the Series 1 Captain America head. And it made a really good Captain America. I think it looks really good as a new Avengers cap. And decided to move Ant-Man over here, down here, to use him as Hank Pym instead on the West Coast Avengers. And I moved Wasp up top. I needed a Wasp in my Avengers shelf. So I decided to swap them. It's okay. Hank Pym didn't wear that costume on the West Coast Avengers, but he was on the team, so it's okay. And then added Wolverine, Ronin. I think the last one here I think we need Iron Fist in there still, so I gotta make some room because I started running out of space here. Yep, there's Iron Fist. Really one of my favorite characters, but not a big fan of that figure, to be honest with you. And then we're almost done here. Once I finish the new Avengers, we're good. Now it's just Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I really had to squeeze in somewhere. I hate having to do that, but, you know, he ends up working out pretty well. And there you go. All complete. Right, here's the end result. of the classic Avengers, or anyone who's just on the regular Avengers team. Then you go down here, and all the other spin-off Avengers teams, the Dark Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, the New Avengers, both versions of them, a couple of different versions of them, and the Young Avengers. Kind of hard to see because it's shadowy back there. But I want to get some lights, but that's all the posing. That's everything I did here. Let me know what you guys thought about this. I might do more of other displays. Let me know how I can improve on it. How I can improve the videos, how I can improve the display if you have suggestions there. I gotta fix Machine Man's arm here, but yeah. Actually, real quick, forgot I wanted to add some lightning to Thor's hammer there. So now it's complete for now. We'll see if I change it. I like it though, I think. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.